Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Sorry, legends. Just trying to suss out audio problems here, as usual. Hey, hey, hey. Testing, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Wrong speaker. Okay, righto. I've got my inputs asked about. How's that sound? Alright? Alright, alright, alright. Testing, yeah. Sorry I'm late, legends. 24 minutes. Are we dropping frames occasionally? Yes. Of course we are. So yeah, a bit of a sad day today. I don't know if you saw my post, but Paulie from Screaming Jets has passed away. I don't know what happened. Um, yeah, so we'll just do what we always do and stick into work and bottle it all up and punch someone later instead. uh, I think everything's stabilised. Sweet as. So Scotty, if you're there, SK Man 22. Heart goes out to you and the boys. Just released the new album and they were just about to tour as well. So yeah, sorry I'm late. The Super 6 is over there. It's coming up, but I got screwed yesterday by Tesco. So a bit of a backstory on that one. Tesco Checkmate 15. The common one's 18. The Checkmate 15 is pretty much identical to the Checkmate 20. I don't know how they derive their wattage numbers, but so this one a while back, he brought it in. It was a basket case. Had a 100-volt transformer and really unsafe, and turned out to be failed output transformer. So I installed a new Hammond 12 whatever PA, the one out of the 18 watt Marshall anyway, being that it's two EL84s, and I think it was just like a new sensor output transformer because it was already hitting the budget pretty hard. And the reverb tank was one of those stupid piezo-driven pieces of shit. So I installed another valve and rerouted everything a little bit so I could use a direct-driven, so transformerless drive and recovery for the reverb tank, which was like high impedance input and output. And it sort of worked, and he was happy with it, but he brought it back for just crackling. And it turned out to just be one of those weird dog bone plate load resistors. So I replaced all of them with metal film. There was only two left, I think. But then I looked at the reverb circuit and I was very unhappy with 4 year ago me. So I redid it all. I don't know what I was thinking. It can be a real humbling experience when you come across work that you've done previously. Yeah. So So I redid it so the reverb was actually not dull and actually had some volume to it and didn't kill the clean dry signal. But things you constantly learn. What does that mean? It means that previous you did dumb shit. So sometimes you gotta face the stuff that you looked at, and it can be a bit humbling. Alright, so seeing the comments have stopped. I don't know if we're still streaming. Are we still good? I can get my phone out and check. One moment. Sorry, I bumped the mute switch again. I'm really with it today, eh? I wasn't even going to stream at all after hearing about Paulie. Wasn't really in the mood, but yeah, so I've just got the big panel up here. Normally have that on the bench and have a little panel for my stupid face, but she be right. So being mad at past Brad just means that you're evolving. Yeah, it's a shit thing. It sucks. Yeah, so I didn't charge him, but I spent like a good 4 hours on it, rebuilding both the send and recovery circuit and finding other things that could be improved. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is. It just would have been great if it was something better than the Tesco. But you know, now that amp's going to be sounding fantastic. People are going to go looking for one on the second-hand market, and that's when they discover the horrible truth that they're a terrible amplifier. But that one's no longer a terrible amplifier. So, yeah, this Princeton. Speaking of, oh fuck, cut my finger. I don't know what on. Speaking of massive fucking shit fights. Notice anything? Notice there's no parts on the fucking board. Yeah, it's sort of like a working on silverface fenders, particularly ones that have been fucked up by some incompetent fuck. It's a little bit like, have you seen the cheese races in the UK somewhere? I think it's Scotland somewhere. They chase the wheel of cheese down the hill. It's a little bit like that. So you start off, oh yeah, I'm alright, and then you just end up tumbling, and yeah. So that's what working on silverface fenders is like. This thing was fucking disgusting. So every component I removed, the one next to it that was hidden by it, like you just touch it and it would fall off. Like the guys just touched, you know, the lead to a solder joint and just dabbed it with his soldering iron and thought it was done. Like it didn't even melt the solder. Like I've taken some real good close-up video and taken the piss out of the previous tech. I did confirm with the customer, and you other YouTube techs should do this as well. Confirm with the customer that it's not him that did it, and be honest. Like, I said to him, look, I am gonna absolutely slay the dude that did this work. Can you just confirm for me that it's not you? Because if it's you, I won't do that. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. And I think he knows who it was, but I don't think he wants to disclose, which is fine. I'm not going to disclose who it was anyway, but it kind of sucks because these people are ripping people off and you kind of want to expose them, but it just makes you look like a tatty-tail dickhead on the school playground. So obviously there's some vested interest there if I'm flagging another person's shoddy work, so it's kind of hard to trust me even if I was telling the truth. Anyway, so yeah, everything's come out, cleaned the solder connections, given it a solvent soak several times. I've got to clean this one a bit better, but yeah, the eyelet board's ready for repopulation. There was so much slime in this thing. I don't know what it was. Overexposy. Ooh, wrong way. There we go. Yeah, the thing had a pool of shit in it, just like slime, green slime. But luckily it all cleaned up. And have a go at this for porn. That's schmicko. Bit of Scotch-Brite on some brass, and works magic. Front panel actually came up okay, and I'm thinking this filiform corrosion, I love saying that, is due to whatever that shit was, because it seems to be concentrated where that shit was concentrated, and the whole back of it was covered in it, between the chassis and that, so literally the whole thing had to come apart. I just dropped the transformer out just to get access around here. I'm going to be redoing this wiring anyway, because it looks like fucking arse. I was almost going to just rebuild the whole thing, because there's shit in the back there too, and literally get in there with a Q-tip and fuck around for hours, or you can just drop everything out, fucking clean it properly and rewire it how you want it. It's almost the same amount of time, and you end up with a better result doing the latter. So I don't know, really should quote more for these things, but it is what it is. I like saying that. A song just came out called "It Is What It Is," and it's really catchy. It's one of those phrases people say when they just have nothing else to say. Oh, it is what it is. It's very lazy. And tradesmen say it a lot when they do shit work. Oh, it is what it is, mate. So I'll check all the carbon comps for drift. I reckon the plate loads will be fucked. They almost always are. The little blue caps are almost always good. I think, I was talking to Lyle about this, I think that, you see on forums and shit, people bad-mouthing those little blue caps and the little brown chiclet cap things. The little, they look like little chocolate candy things we call fantails over here. But yeah, I've never seen one leaking, ever, like, ever. But people go, oh yeah, change all them out. So I reckon what it is, now, you know, I should be saving this one for the old member channel, because it's valuable information. I think what they do, they find leakage somewhere, voltage DC, somewhere where it shouldn't be. They remove the cap. And in the process, they heat the board with their soldering iron. That removes some moisture and shit out of the surface of the board. They put a new cap in. They test it. The leakage is reduced. It's probably not zero, but to another tech, it's probably, oh, it's good enough. So they think they've just fixed the problem by replacing the cap. What they've actually done is heated the board and got rid of the leakage there with their soldering iron. So even if they did that and left the old cap in, it still would have been the same amount of improvement. So I think that's what's going on with bad mouthing those caps. So I might just get this whole shit show and get it out of the way so we can get on to some other stuff, because that's an ongoing thing. I'll get it done later today, but I've got to find a layout for that one. It's not an 1164. It's not a 960 whatever. It's something else. It's got the pull pot on the master, on the volume. Sorry, there is no master. And I might ask the customer if he even wants that, the pull pot thing. I could just do an 1164 layout if he didn't want that. If he wasn't a fan of it or never used it. It is worth talking to the customers about these things. Suss out if you can make some improvements, or if you're bending over backwards to make a certain part of a circuit work as designed, and then they don't even use it. It's like, especially with the silverface fender stuff, when they did some pretty questionable shit. Cleanish bench. The amount of just shit that came out of that amp, like just dust and just bits of shit and chunks of crap and grease and oil, and just mind blowing. The amp's actually going to be literally lighter in weight from just not carrying around all the schmoo that was in it. It's like, it'd probably be a measurable difference in just scraping out the dirt and the grease. Only fine French butter should ever be used on tube sockets. That's what it looked like. It looked like, I don't know, like bacon grease or something. Probably the same yuck they put in the sockets. Well, I've got my doubt that it looks like they just sprayed the inside of the whole chassis. Like, what was on the sockets was nothing. What was in the chassis was like there was pools of it. So I don't know if they just sprayed the fuck out of the pots and it just ran down in there, and they probably sprayed the sockets as well. But yeah, I've got a matching brass piece for that nasty basement. Nice one. What was the crap in the sockets? I don't know, Tom. It's probably WD-40. Yeah, gotta love the reflective chassis glare. Yeah. So it's going down like that. So the lighting needs to be at a different angle. Hazard pay. So better to use epoxy board than fiber? Absolutely. Yeah, it was probably just WD-40. All the aromatic shit out of the WD-40 was long evaporated, but it just leaves behind whatever the lubricant shit is that's in it. Alright. What am I getting myself into here? So this one's a Kenwood KA6100 Hi-Fi thing from the 70s. Old mate's had it forever. Wants to have it forevermore. So I told him to get it reliable. We'll do a recap because there's already some... these used a lot of electrolytics as coupling caps. And the signal's cut off at a few of them, so... What often happens is, you just... One of them dries up and no longer couples the signal or couples it. It creates a very high pass filter because it's reduced a lot in value since it's dried up. They were quality caps when they were made, but the thing's like 50 years old, yeah. So, I worked 33 years as an electronics tech in avionics field. Chemicals allowed to be near our stuff was regulated in detail. I sure hope it was. You spray the wrong shit on the wrong metal and it can eat it away. I don't even feel like working today. Before we get into work, just got this bottle. I don't know if it's any good. 48%. Yeah, I like Talisker. But I think I'm going to leave the whiskey club because it's becoming less and less value as they go on, and it feels a little bit pyramid schemey. So I think I know enough about whiskey now to know what's good and what's shit. I kind of got into the whiskey club just to learn more about it when I began. But I kind of know who's who now, so I might fuck it off because it's not really good value anymore. Parley. So this is a collaboration with someone else, Parley. Talisker and Parley are on a mission to support the preservation of wild sea forests around the world. They are vital to our planet, yet vanishing 4 times faster than rainforests. Each bottle represents a donation to our mission for wilder seas. Well, there you go. Talisker Wild Seas is our first ever single malt whiskey finished in French oak XO cognac casks. Lovely. I've never had a cognac cask whiskey before. It's also the first to be bottled in 100% recycled glass. Cool. It's lush and complex with smooth notes of plum and stewed raisins. Never had a stewed raisin, me. Have you guys ever had a stewed raisin? Notes of plum and stewed raisin rising from dark and smoky depths. Yeah, so Talisker's pretty smoky. I've been a fan of Talisker ever since I had the first bottle of 10-year-old, which is their sort of stock standard one. Representative. Yeah, I'm saving that one till I catch up with Dad and we'll crack it open. Repairing hi-fi and enjoying life are mutually exclusive. I don't know. It's never anything too hectic. It's usually just neglect and dust. Cat fur and stuff. I've got a new little lens for me mini camera. Olympus 17mm. I think I used that on my last stream, but it was good for just a headshot, but I've gone back to just using my standard 12mm Olympus 1240 2.8 on the live cam, because 12mm is kind of the sweet spot for working because I'm moving around a bit, whereas this is good for just static headshots. I use this on... did I use that? No. I used that on the last live stream that I did, but on Lyle's live stream I used the 12-40 as well because I needed the zoom. It looked really good, and then I realised that, hang on, we're cutting the screen down the guts. So I ended up having to zoom out a little bit, I think, because it was cutting my shoulders off and stuff. Cast gauging is for haunting mids. Yeah, are you talking, Wes, about the wanky terminology of the tasting notes there? Because yeah, I don't know if it's legit or not. Like, you can sometimes pick it up, but yeah, it's I think it's sort of like a little club code. Like, oh, I know all the tasting notes. You know, I'm a fucking professional whiskey taster. But I don't know. I just sort of give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. All right, we got documents for this thing. I've got the schematic and the parts list for it. So what I'll do is check. Actually, you know what? Before we get into that, let's just have a quick listen to the Tesco now that I've fixed the fucking thing. It's got some weight, that thing. It's got a pretty big transformer. I started doing a video on the Tesco, and halfway through, when I discovered all the dumb shit that I'd done 4 years ago, I thought, oh, I just deleted the videos. There she is. Had another big 10 last night. Yeah. Which I think helped the Roosters get stormed. I fell asleep on the couch halfway through the game. That's how much into football I am. Went to the brewery and had 2 beers there and got a 4-pack. Had 2 beers at home. But the problem is the beers are like 8%, so yeah, I was done with the day by that point after screwing around with this thing all day. So, it's going to look great on video, and I'll just go to the full cam. Hang on. Let's mic this thing up. Have a listen. It's got a Tektronix tank. I think it's similar to the tank that's in like the PVs and that, the high impedance thing. So I'm pretty happy with that transformerless reverb circuit now. I think I might even use that on one of my designs, because it saves you from buying a transformer. Still tube driven, valve driven, but it means you don't have to install a transformer. Alright, I'm just going to mute myself for a sec. So there you go. David Lynch, yeah. So hopefully it behaves itself now. The problem with stuff like this is, do you just replace everything? And then there's the customer's anxiety about the amplifier no longer being its original character. So you've got to allay that and say, look, the electrons don't care what the resistors look like, but they do care if the resistor's fucked. So, yeah, small changes make small differences. But do you want a crackly, hissy piece of shit that hums and doesn't pass signal, or do you want something that's reliable? So yeah. Yeah, I need to learn more chords, champions. Need more chords. Sounds fine, at least for YouTube. Yeah, can you show us the guitar? Sure. So this is one I just built out of bits and pieces. Back when I was in the home workshop, I had a real metal thing, ESP, LTD, M1000. But when you're playing that's cool when you're playing metal. But if you've got bluesy boys coming in, you kind of need something that's a little bit more traditionalist for them to try their amp out or voicing options or whatever out on. So I just built this out of bits and pieces I found online, and it's just been the workshop axe ever since. I did a refret to it because it had the shitty lacquer over the frets that I don't know why Fender do that, particularly on the US necks. But yeah, it's a US body, deluxe neck. It's got a very soft V to it. And I resprayed the front face before pressing the new frets in because like I say, the old one, the lacquer did not come off gracefully with the frets, and the frets were worn as. So I just resprayed the front of the neck and just put a bit of pigment, a bit of stain in the lacquer before applying the first coat, just to simulate the sort of orangey look of the aged maple underneath, because it went white when I sanded it. Japanese amps just never reach the same quality in design and build that their guitars, synths and pedals did. Yeah, not sure why that's the case, eh? Morning 6, by the way. Hope you're doing well, mate. Beard hair in my mouth. There. That's nice. Might be time to get rid of the old beard, I think. It's giving me the shits. Much butterscotchness. I almost brought down the Linkwood. I might feature that next week if I'm around. So what were we doing? Repairing shit. Right. Back to this thing. So I've given it a bit of a clean. The problem with hi-fi stuff is the vents are on top and everything just goes straight into the amp. And they sit there. People have them in their setup turned on 24/7. They often don't turn off the hi-fi amp at all. So there's a lot of hours on those caps, and probably literally multiple hundreds more than they were designed for. You think about 1,000 hours, right? Multiply 50 years every day of this thing being turned on. It is fucking incredible that those caps have lasted as long as they have. We're talking hundreds, probably thousands times more than they were designed to withstand. Now, it had a missing fuse on one of the outputs, so I need to see what they are. All the fuses are the same value. They're all 4 amp. Oh, there's one 500 milliamp. The one that was missing was a 4 amp, so I think that's a speaker protection fuse. So the first thing I'll do is check that we haven't got a shorted transistor. The beauty of these things, the old ones, is that they've got a panel on the bottom you can remove. So you don't have to remove the board to work on the thing. So that's why sometimes they can be worth repairing, because the repair cost isn't ridiculous. The things like the Yamaha RX series, they're just built like a fucking Borg cube. You can't get into the things, and you certainly can't operate it while it's together. So they're not worth repairing at all. Just throw them in the bin, even though they are Yamaha. Some of them can be recovered by just giving them a hard reset, but other times, if there's something wrong with the processor board, Yamaha don't support them anymore because they're like 20 years old. The new ones, they may be able to get new boards for, but just figuring out what boards failed is like, it's not worth the price of the thing. You buy them second hand for $200, if that. So straight away, just having a quick look, I can see some cracked solder joints, so that's fun. What's that on? That's on a transistor. So let's have a look at the schematic. There it is. First one I looked at. We got customer details on there. No, we don't. That's good. Got Dad's notes. He went through and checked the capacitor bomb. Here we go. We got someone's done the maths. 8,740 hours per year times this age. Yeah. Imagine this being turned on its whole life, John. Figure out how many hours that is. Anniversary today. Bought my first guitar 2 years ago today. Surf Green Strat. Lovely. So what was I going to do? I was going to put the live stream on my phone just to see if it's working. I know it's working, but just to see if it's glitching or anything. Come on, internet. There I am. 57 watching. Fantastic. I think I saw a comment from Yeatsy. Yeatsy Guitar just before. Been enjoying your AAA C30 videos. That's pretty cool. I can see some of the videos aren't doing as well as your guitar ones. I wonder, I don't know exactly why that is. Maybe you've just got to take a bit of time to get a bit of traction on the amp related stuff. Yeah, 500,000 hours, yeah. So these caps are probably 1,000 hour caps, and they're still working after almost 500,000 hours. Assuming this thing was on 24/7, which it probably wasn't. But what I'm saying is, if you've got a device that's on 24/7, that's gonna use up those hours pretty quick. All right, KA6100. Have I got a schematic on the computer for this that we can look at? KA. Oh God. And this one, because I knew it might take a bit of troubleshooting. I don't think I've got a schematic for that on this computer. It must be on the other one. Kenwood KA, was it 6100? Service manual. Electro Tanya saves the day once again. My cousin's name's Tanya, and every time I look at Electro Tanya, I just imagine a robot version of her. Soviet electronic robot version of her. Download processing, sure it is. So, Dimmick's books have just been hacked, and I got an email saying that my details have been released, but all it was like phone number, address, and date of birth. So, Dimmick's is a Australian bookstore, right? They used to have retail stores everywhere. Now they do a lot of online stuff. But when you signed up, I think I signed up to buy, what was it? I signed up to buy a book for Michelle. I think it was a cookbook she wanted for Christmas or something. They ask you your date of birth for a bookshop. So I just told them like 2021. I'm a really, really intelligent 2-year-old. And it still let me start an account. So like, why are they asking it for starters? But as if I'm going to give them a real date of birth, because they're a bunch of fuckwits that don't know internet security if it bit them in the arsehole. So I got an email saying they've been sold on the dark web. I wrote back an email, very abusive. I probably shouldn't read it on stream, so I won't. But there's going to be no one's going to read it. It's not going to find humans. It was an actual email address, not a no reply address. But it's getting to the point now where if I need to start an account with a company and they ask shit like that, I'm just not going to use their product because it's just too much. I don't think I even gave them a correct phone number, 6. I think this was after the Medicare, Medibank, whatever the hack was. So I just give them all false information now, except for the shipping address, and I go through PayPal for that, so they don't even have it on record, I believe. Maybe they do, I don't know. But it still blows my mind that when someone steals your identity and does shit, people still come for you. It's like, bro, have you not watched the fucking news? Like, it's just like they want a scapegoat. I watched one of my friends from Australia go through this. Someone on Marketplace created another account or whatever and scammed someone, and they used his photo, but the profile was like 5 days old, and this person that did it wasn't from like Cameroon or some fucking shithole. They were from Australia, like a local kid, like 16-year-old, and he copied. He got his photo, created another account, copied his name, and then bought shit. Did he buy shit? No, he copied his Marketplace listings and sold shit online. And some fucking mouth-breathing 3 IQ dickhead bought something from this scammer, and then he went against my mate, and he's like, "Oh, you're a scammer. You owe me money. I'm gonna find you." It's like, dude. And then it went through court. The kid got found and convicted, and this guy's still going for my mate. It's like, dude, it's in the fucking news. It's in the newspaper. It's not. Here's the website. Here's the fucking court notice. Here's the public record of this kid getting arrested for doing this, and you're still going to my mate saying he's a scammer. Like, you are a just absolute oxygen thief. You're just so stupid. How the fuck do you manage to put your shoes on in the morning? So, yeah, I think he's still battling with that shit. The bloke going around talking shit about him, even though it was a scam account and he got cloned. It's like, oh my God. People are just, the average IQ is so low. It's just mind-blowing. I just don't know how people know which hole to put the food in. Like, how are they alive when they're that stupid? Yeah, the guy's probably got a job and a driver's license and a car, and he probably fucking owns a house. Like, just people are so stupid, especially when it comes to technology, online stuff. I'm seeing people that I really respect and technical people, and they're just getting caught up by Facebook shit. Like, they're answering Facebook quizzes. You don't engage with that shit. Don't press it. Don't post your first car on a fucking question from some health and well-being page that's asking what your first car was. Like, it's data mining, but people just, they're unaware of it. I don't know. It's just so crazy. And these are technical, very intelligent people, and they're just falling for this shit. It's just nuts. All right, so in that rant, we should have a downloaded document now. Off the dark web. All right, we've got a service manual. So let's see. The list of caps. Yeah, we've got that here. We've got the bill of materials. Let's have a look for what this transistor does and what the symptom might have been of it having a cracked solder joint. Social Security Administration made a friend get a new Social Security number because an illegal immigrant had been using it for 7 years. 7 years. And that they only just picked it up then. Seriously, I'm so sick of seeing posts in the groups about people getting scammed by paying money into bank accounts. Yeah, don't pay money into a fucking bank account. Like, if you do that, or you use Pay ID or whatever, it's your fault. Due diligence. You should know by now that if it's not PayPal, don't use it. Or cash in hand, right? Every week there's a dozen or more. Yeah. Most of it are non-tech savvy people. But in this day and age, I honestly think you've got no excuse for not being tech savvy. If you're not tech savvy enough to know basic shit like that, you deserve everything you get. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. You know. There's a bunch of mouth breathers going, I've been safe doing it, so it's fine. Yeah, you've just been lucky so far. I've bought like 2-3 things off Marketplace, and it was only when it was something like cameras, right? So there's a guy's name. His profile is there. His profile has photos, him promoting his own photography business. It's got a link to it. It's like 15 years old, the profile. You can see him posting photos of his work. He's got a YouTube channel. This is all stuff, groundwork you've got to do if you're going to do an interaction on Marketplace and not get scammed. I went to his house and picked the stuff up, paid him cash. Job done. Right, sweet. But you don't just... every single fucking listing on Marketplace, aside from maybe 10%, is a scam. It's just... Or they're just an idiot that is so hard to deal with that it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. That's why eBay still exists. Because with their fees, they're not competitive. So they still exist because the only thing they've got going for them is the security and the ability to do chargebacks. I just got my son name hacked from a bank who I closed my account with. Yeah, but they hold on to the info. That's got to be a law change. If you close your account, you should fucking close your account, right? I know they've got to keep records for 7 years, but these companies that have people's like bank statements and copies of their driver's license and shit online for like 15 years after they've closed the account, just from pure hubris and laziness. And when it's a corporation, if that's not someone's job description to do that, to erase those accounts, then it just doesn't get done. If it's not someone's specific job to do it, the corporate machine won't even recognize that it's a thing. The cap rule of thumb is 2 times per 10C, so that's 10 degrees. So at 40, the 85 should work 16 times. Yeah, so that is how it works. Yeah, John. Within reason, because obviously they've got a shelf life as well. eBay is full of Japanese companies selling the same guitar. Yeah, you've got to do a Google image search for that. So a lot of people don't know you can upload a graphic file like a JPEG or whatever to Google, and you can search the internet for that graphic. So you'll see like a guitar or something. Or just like something that's too good to be true. Like I saw a Sony A7S III body for sale for $2,000. Or yeah, I think it was $2,000. Might have been a bit less. That's normally a $4,000 camera. And I thought what they're starting to do is making the deals not seem too good. Like if that was $1,200, you'd be like, yeah, it's a scam. So you're like, oh, maybe he needs the money. I don't know. So I sent a message, and then yeah, straight away they're like, just the typical scam response. Oh, I get my brother to pick up. Well, fuck you. Get it. I think I typed back. Get a real job. You drain on society. I think one of them, I tried to coach them. They rang me up. It was a scam. And I'm like, bro, where are you? Like, are you in India? It sounds like you got an Indian accent. And he started getting aggressive. And I'm like, dude, do you understand that it's probably easier to make money doing actual work than what you're doing? And then he started abusing me. And I'm like, come over to Australia, man. I'll give you a job. You can work for me. And then you could hear his voice change a bit. He's like, oh, really? He's like, oh, really? I'm like, no, fuck off. That was fun. That was fun. I like fucking with scammers. This whole YouTube channel's dedicated to ruining scammers' lives and exposing them and stuff. Range of multi falls after about 40C. Yeah. Have had cat last longer than shelf in use. Yes. Low quality lead-free solder often cracks, causing intermittent connections, which leads to arcing and current spikes. Yeah, they don't like that. People don't know how to ask for a good face showing from a buyer on marketplace, or how to vet. Yeah. It seems just like common sense to me, but I guess, I don't know. If people are still getting scammed, they don't understand how it works. Anyway, back to this. So, Q30. That's a round number, suspiciously round number. Yeah, Q30. Oh, look at that. I tell you how to read, I even tell you how to read the tantalum capacitors. I really miss nice service manuals. Look at them. They're a thing of art. That's a little line drawing there, beautifully drawn. That's actually hand drawn by the looks of it too. Someone's drawn that on isometric paper. It's really cool. Little 3D renders, 3D drawings, sorry. So there's our electrolytics that we're changing, all of these. It's got some mylars and some ceramics in there as well, which are probably fine. Got some carbon, it says metal film or carbon. I don't think they're carbon comp. No, they'd be carbon film. It's funny that it doesn't say carbon film, but anyway, excuse me, hiccup. Bias current test point. Thank you very much. And meter adjustment. Yep, sweet as, bro. This is why working on these things is sometimes still worthwhile, because people are willing to put money into them because they've owned them forever and they want to own them for another ever. And there's actually adequate documentation there for, like, it even shows you how to adjust it. If they're cool with the billable hour estimate, and you can get the documentation, that can be worthwhile. Q30, where are you, champion? QM30 2SA755. Is that what it is? It is what it is. 755 it is. QA30. Where are you? You're not near the output stage. Or are you? You might be. You might be a driver. No, they're the drivers there. Q19. to 20 something. Protection. Oh, that's up the other end. Headphone amp. No, that's up the other end. Let's get the little dynamic zoom tool. Oh, 29 QM30. Part of the low voltage supply. Plus minus 25 volts. So that's the little bugger there. So it's probably dropped a rail. Hopefully, what might have happened is that's dropped a rail. Let's look at the coupling of the output stage. Right, you've got your ground there. You've got your not the easiest schematic to follow, but we'll get there. Sorry, I'm just staring at the schematic one moment. Yeah, so we've got from the 25 volt rail to the input, which is there, we've got direct coupling. So there's it's not capacitively coupled. Oh wait, yes it is. So there's a cap there. CD11 coming from the previous stage. CD12 coming from the previous stage to the output. So a dropped rail would not have caused the output to swing wildly, perhaps. What can happen is if you lose a power supply rail, it's usually in something to do with the regulation for the low voltage supply. And if you've got a directly coupled output, say for example the Fender FM Frontman series, the 212, whatever, you can deliver DC to the speaker because the amplifier output stage is still perfectly operational, but something in the preamps dropped a rail, and what happens is the op amps or whatever swing wildly to the other rail when you when you lose one. So the output stage is perfectly happy amplifying that DC offset of the input to the speakers. As far as it knows, it's just getting a signal. There's no DC protection, sensing or anything on that circuit, which would cost more money because Fender. So you blow your outputs, you blow your speaker. The output stage generally survives, but your speaker doesn't, because it's copying like probably not the full rail, but it's amplifying the DC. So usually like 20, 30, 40 volts or something, hard DC directly delivered to the speaker, and the speakers don't like that. Mash that like button. That's right. Give it a good mashing. The Japanese guitar thing is people listing up instruments from Digimart, and if someone buys it, they purchase the instrument and ship it to the buyer. Oh, okay. So that might be legit. I remember having to do isometric drawing at TAFE. Yeah, I used to do it at school. Tech drawing. Takes talent to draw those tech manuals. Yes, it does. Takes talent to draw those tech Manuela. That's the female version of Manuel, is it? Manuel! Power supply drawn from right to left rather than left to right. Slow me down for a bit. Yeah, it's the Arabic way of drawing schematics. Mesa Boogie, subscribe to that as well. I've got the input at the right. That really messes up a lot of text, eh? It's funny. Cold Acre, how you going, champion? I can never understand why mouth breathers is a synonym for a stupid or backwards person. Well, it's just logic, man. They just sit there and they go, you know, that's the sound they make in their natural habitat, because breathing uses all their EQ. EQ? IQ. We're certainly in hi-fi mode, aren't we? I'm restoring a 1968 Princeton Reverb. Has factory tropical fish, really? I don't think that'd be factory, would it? Did any 60s fenders have tropical fish? Coupling caps upon initial go through 2 seem to be leaking DC. What caps would I recommend? Princeton Reverb. Okay, so it depends where they are. Coupling caps. Use a... I'd personally use an ECQ series from Panasonic because they fit nice. Here's one right here. Here's one. Oh, yeah. So one of them, or there's a couple of other good brands. Just stick with a known brand. I prefer Panasonic if I can get them because I trust them. Yeah, make sure the leakage isn't in the board. Caps may be okay. Having said that, I've seen quite a few tropical fish fail spectacularly. But yeah, lift an end of the cap to confirm it's the actual cap, not the board itself that's leaking. By the way, a few years back, hi Gooden, by the way. A few years back, I tried to view or download a schematic from Electrotania, and that set off a bunch of virus warnings. Who compiles and moderates, curates the info and links? I don't know. Some guy in Slovakia or somewhere. If it's a PDF, you can disable active content. Yeah, 68 and 69 sometimes had tropical fish. Okay. And other oddities like crimped connectors on inputs. Huh. Wow. I don't see much 60s fender stuff here. One of the other techs has taken all that stuff from me. Is there a way to protect speaker cabs from failing solid state power stages? Yeah, sure. It's in most amplifiers. All professional well, not all, but most professional amplifiers will have DC protection, sure. So yeah, it's just a comparator, and it's filters out the AC, and if the DC offset goes out of range, it cuts off the relay. That's very common. Mouth breathing is also said to provide less oxygen to your brain than nasal breathing. Is that just because your nose is pointed at your brain? Nose breathing must make you wicked smart. So does that make me dumber every time I've got a cold? Yeah, probably. I'm putting together an order of parts. I'd rather buy new parts now than pay shipping twice. I have cleaned the board once. We'll do it again. Thanks, gents. No worries, man. Good luck with it. Check out Lyle's channel. He's got a wealth of information on earlier fenders. Well, 60s fenders and earlier. If you lift the cap, yeah, sorry, I should have specified that. If you lift the cap, you need a ground reference. Otherwise, you'll just get some weird floating voltage. 1 meg tack solder will tell you the truth. Yes. Panasonic ECQs are great, yes, but some of them are going obsolete, which sucks. If having nose hairs that look like tusks was a sign of smartness, I'd be a genius. Oh, God, mental image. Love you, Gooden, but that was a bit graphic, mate. Let's fire up the soldering iron. Right, so we've got our capacitor designators. What I might do is, as I remove them on this list, I'm going to get a red pen. I'm going to erase the ticks that show me ordering them or checking stock. And as I remove the caps, I'm going to tick that I've confirmed that I've removed that cap, and that particular cap was the value that's written here. If it's not, I'm going to write the value here. So then I can clean the board with all the caps removed. Because often, in past experience, this old Japanese stuff, quite a few of these radial caps will have big leaking shmoo out the bottom by now. So that way we've got a big empty board where all the caps were. I can get in there and clean. And then reinstall them all in one go, because I've confirmed that the list is correct. Correctamundo. Check out the big brain on Brad. I pluck them out. It's my masochistic. But don't you sneeze when you pluck them? A few times I've plucked the nose hair. I've sneezed for like half an hour afterwards. Body doesn't like that. In a true Aussie move, I'm wearing my thongs to work today. Makes it feel more like a weekend. And if anything goes wrong with an amp, I can whack it with my thong, which is the Aussie way of disciplining things. Have you guys seen Fat Pizza in the States? Did it make it over there? So we've got a comedy series called Fat Pizza. It was pretty big in the probably late 2000s. And it's really funny. You should watch it. But Paulie out of Fat Pizza, his superpower, his weapon is being able to like knock people out with his thong. Love it. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't have turned that on. Let's fix my soldering iron first. Fat Pizza. The guy that orders the phone. You should watch Fat Pizza. It's very good. Very Australian. So now that it's hot, I need to replace my little bracket down here. How do I get to that? Let's remove the filter element. Actually, that's chock full of fender schmoo anyway, so that can go in the bin. Oh, that can get disposed of responsibly. Let's not put it in the bin. Fat Pizza, they're big and they're cheesy. That's right, Cold Acre, you must be Aussie. Fat Pizza, they're big and they're cheesy. Used to love that show. Sandals for our Canadian friends. Yeah, we call them thongs. You guys call very different things thongs. We call them G-strings. Or G-bangers. Chucking on a G-banger. So I've got my super expensive part that I was whinging about in one of my edited videos. You haven't seen that yet. It was the Rivera. I took notes from Victor and I'm holding off on releasing videos until I've done the whole thing now. Thank you, Victor. I was having too much fun releasing videos too often. You finish a video, you put a lot of work into it, you've edited it, and you feel real excited about it. You want to release it to the world and watch it get views and get excited. It's just sometimes you're releasing stuff before you finish the job, and we've got to wait for parts for ages here. This part was in stock and it still took 2 weeks to get here. That's what it's like in Australia. So there's the part that Tektronix quoted me like $96 for. A little fucking piece of plastic. Told him to stick it up his ass sideways. Fucking prick. Yeah, pace. Owning a pace is like owning a BMW a little bit. It's going to be expensive to maintain, but $96 for that's just ridiculous. I don't think it's even glass reinforced, which is probably why it fucking broke in the first place. Let's have a look. Where's my razor blade? Let's do an AVE on it. Where is my art hobby knife? One sec, champs. There it is. Flip-flops. It's glass reinforced. So just cutting an area where it's not going to impact the strength. You just push the blade into it a little bit and you can hear that's the glass fiber. in the plastic, so it is reinforced. So how do we get that out? Spring and sproingen. Jesus, this is turning into an AVE stream. If I push that, let's zoom out a bit, eh? Oh, wrong way. Should think about a 3D printer. I don't know, Jerry. They seem messy and kind of... They seem like a really good idea, but coming from a manufacturing background, I'm aware of the shortcomings of them, and they're not really that attractive when you run the figures, to be honest. They're good for prototyping, but that's about it. You can't... Yeah, for stuff like this, I guess they're good, though, yeah. Because it's just a one-off of a very expensive part. Alright, that's the old one. Oh, in the amp. We'll put the new one on. Put the circlip back on. Put the hose back on. Bing. Just like a brand new bought bastard, as we say in Australia. That spring just feels too strong. Maybe that's why it broke in the first place. Put in our new cartridge. Oop, oop. Clickety doo-dah. And away we go. Fire it up. Oop. Tighten my tip. Oh no, I'm removing that one. Hang on. That's right. I want my smaller tip for the small cap leads, and then I'll go to the bigger one for the main res caps. Bing bing. Right, so we've just gone over the 1 hour mark. Can you believe it? Might have a quick intermission, boil a kettle. Gives you a chance to go and refresh your drink, being Friday night in the States. What are we all drinking? Leave it in the comments. What are we imbibing in? What a word. Back in one moment, legends. And we're back, champions. Jesse, thanks, mate. You didn't have to do that. Thanks for the advising on and we're back. Fuck me. Okay, now we're back. So I go back in the chat. Yes, Lyle's drinking coffee. Shock horror. Crazy. Stone IPA. 7.7. The thing with IPAs, they're get the lead out. I don't know what your name is. Hops is a sedative. So you have an IPA in the afternoon. I think you can have a pretty early night or at least an afternoon nap. Thinking about walking down to the pub for an early dinner soon. Yeah, you do that. What kind of pub is it, Lyle? Is it like got a theme or it's just a pub? Generally when there's a pub in the States, I assume it's like an Irish pub or something when you say pub. Because otherwise you just call it a bar in the States, don't you? I'm going to the bar. You guys need anything? Is that my level? Hello? Yes, that's the level. Neighbourhood block party tonight, so I'm told I must be social. Yes, you get out there and be social. Get drunk and be social. I don't see Lyle getting drunk, but... Dead Kobe did a couple of videos on how to source and buy parts, which was informative and could help some newbies out there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Often newbies will get kind of screwed because they're just going to the retail outlets that don't give you very good pricing. It's good to converse with humanoids occasionally. The humanoids. I'll have a pint or two, fortify myself for the upcoming niceties. Yeah, how about that? How about this weather, huh? I'm a big guy. 2 pints will only slightly relax me, says Lyle. Yeah, that gets expensive. 2 pints only slightly relax me too, but that's only because I'm Australian. Depends on the beer. I've got some beers that would humble you after 2 pints, I think. 2 pints of 13% beer. It's just silly. I've got to stop buying the strong beers, but they taste so good. It's 29C here. Where are you, Curtis? We're what is it, 16th? We're 16 days into spring, and it's supposed to be like 36, 35 degrees C for like a week. That's like, it's like 100 Fahrenheit, and it's almost still winter, but yeah. Now the planet's fucked. We may as well just party and enjoy it. Mondo like beer, yes. So what's a pizza port swami, Wes? Can you elaborate? Richard says a friend of mine produces Super Wog, Smiling Friends, Koala Man, and some other Aussie greats. That's a pretty cool friend. By the way, Joka in Belgium is back on YouTube with amp repair videos after being off air for a year. I hope he's okay. A lot of Italian amps, if that floats your boat. Yeah, just like the Fafisa that I just did. We don't get many Italian amps out here. Richard's drinking a Talisker 10, getting into the whiskey review, mate. Well, it wasn't really a review because I didn't taste it or open it, but just showing. Now we're up to where I was muted. Super Wog. I thought the W. It is a bit, but it's a little bit. They've got every right to use it themselves. A bit like that word as well, Jerry. But we're not as offended by stuff in Australia as you seppos are. So things are a little bit less touchy out here. It's got to be nice to have a pub or restaurant within walking distance. Everything worth going to around here involves a 10-minute drive. Where are you? Not asking your street address, Gooden, but whereabouts are you roughly? Oh, and thanks, Jesse. Sorry, I thanked you before when the mic was muted. Thanks for the super chat, Jesse. I'm glad I helped you with that grounding thing. Give us a yell if you've got any more problems. Jesse's a good customer of mine. Ten-minute drive is walking distance, Gooden. I walk to work sometimes, and that's like 8 kilometres. Nowhere near as bad. Wogger's gone full circle in his term of endearment. Yeah, it's sort of a term of endearment. Cold acre. That's a good way of stating it. We live 2 blocks from a great restaurant bar. Yeah, that's nice. We've got O'Donoghue's Irish pub's probably my favourite pub around here. Most of them are owned by fucking Woolworths, which is a bunch of blood-sucking cocks, like I guess like Walmart, I guess. More of a supermarket. But yeah, Woolworths, I don't like giving them money in any capacity, and then they own half the pubs. But all the pubs are just generic, boring, beige tile, stainless steel, just shit. They've all got schnitzels and fucking steak, the same food. It's just, They're all owned by the same soulless corporation. I don't go to those pubs because there's just zero vibe. There's TVs everywhere. It's packed full of fucking poker machines. I like going to the smaller pubs. The ones in the city are fantastic, but out west you tend to, most of the pubs are corporate shitholes. I'm a big guy, but a lightweight drinker, 2 pints of beer and I'm ready for a nap. Yep. I know how you feel, Gooden. I could do with a nap. I only walk into specific bars. Yeah. Good is a member of the cannabis family. What? Hops. Oh. Victor's using swipe on his phone, I think. Hops is a member of the cannabis family. Yeah, it's got that skunky smell, doesn't it? Musty sort of. Not bad, like, it smells good. I love the smell of unburnt weed, but the smell of weed being smoked is a bit gross. Irish pub, yes. I love Irish pubs. Real one owned by actual Irishmen, yes. Soccer match is always on, yes. It sounds like a very good place to go. I love a good Irish pub. There's something about them. Just, everyone's a bit Irish, eh? Everyone's got a bit of Irish in them. And if they don't, they should. My name is... Oh, just the chat just jumped as I was reading it. My name is actually Kyle, but Lyle deserves his safe space. He has the worst end of the Kyle-Lyle conflation. They show Glasgow Celtic. Celtic or Celtic? Oh, Celtic? Yeah. I plan on a Smithwick's and a Boddington's. Is that the two beers? All we really got is Guinness and Kilkenny out here. I really wish Guinness made just like a stronger beer, not alcohol but flavour. I find that some of the stouts that I drink are really heavy and great, but then you have a Guinness and it tastes a bit like water afterwards, and Kilkenny's probably worse. If they made one that was like just a really strong, just stronger, double the amount of flavour in it, I'd drink that all the time. Oh my god, I tried to source electronic components, ICs and others, what a nightmare. The interface on mouse and DigiKeys sucks balls. Well, not really, Max. It works really well, in my opinion. You just got to know what parameters you're after, that's all. Like any parametric search, it only gives you back what you put into it. Pirate, I guess you're saying Pirate Life, made an Imperial Stout named Ice Beer. 23%. I bought a can, it was like treacle. Ice beer. Oh, is that the one that I bought? And it was like soy sauce. it was that strong. It was like, nah, we ended up, I think we drank half of it and then we just like, yeah, nah. Oh, Lyle just sent me a photo you might want to put up on my screen. Let's have a look. It sounds dubious. Come on, internet, you can do it. Use that extra kilobit per second. Hey, here he is. Let's just share the screen. Try not to share all my pornos. Hang on. Michelle's sending me funny memes. Drink some coffee. Bring me more coffee, woman. If you got time. I was going to make a cup of tea, but if you bring me another coffee, I'll hold off. Desk chair. Oh, that's a schematic. Oh, did I... Oh, hang on. Oh, God. I closed it. I meant to download the image. Here's me going on about people not being tech savvy. Oh, shit. I just opened video editor. The computer's going to die. I click the button next to the icon. Oh no. Adobe Premiere's opening. Prepare for drop frames. Oh, Elaine sent me a photo as well. Aha! Okay, that I'm opening because that's cool. And that I'm opening because that's cool. That I'm downloading because then I don't have to show you my Facebook profile. Not sure if anything's identifiable in there, but let's keep it off the internets. Now that can go bye-byes. Oh, everyone's commenting on Paulie. Poor Paulie. Alright, open my folder. Man, this computer's slow when I'm asking things of it. Zoom in. Oh my god. I've just ruined my computer. I'm trying to close Premiere Elements that I accidentally opened. Right, where were we? Yeah, so images. There he is. Look at that beer. That's not a pint, Lyle. That's a bloody litre. So where's that Stucky in Park? What? I'm trying to read the sign in the background. Nice one. Can I go to the next image? And here's Elaine having an Ardbeg 10. Looks like the weather's nice. Is that a coffee? Having an Ardbeg for breakfast. And he's finished. A couple of bottle kills, we call them. Good Ardbeg 10. Love Ardbeg 10. Right, so we should probably do some work. I'll just catch up on the chat, then we'll get to it. I'm hurricane proofing my property right now. Hurricane Lee is supposed to hit tomorrow. Shit. That's a worry. Drinking beer around noon make me sleepy. Drinking at night I have staying power. Drinking any time makes me sleepy. Just really shows up how few hours of sleep I actually get. Yeah, keep your head down, Max. You're about 1 hour inland from the coast. Oh, you should be okay then. Sweet. Nobody wants cookie cutter pubs. Yeah, I don't like them, but people just eat them up. They just go there. The big calling card is the kids' playground. If it's got a big kids' playground, it's usually a shithole. I'm doing fish and chips with malt vinegar. Nice. We get a lot of hurricane aftermaths here. Yeah, you would. Woolworths employees get 50% off food at those Woolies pubs. Wow, it's crazy. My sister works at Woolies, so we were ordered for like 8 people, $100. Good. Get everything you can out of them. Fucking $9 billion profit-making bastards. Price gouging pricks. What's on the bench? Looks like an old Yamaha with the shafts running to the back of the chassis. Yeah, it's a Kenwood. Max, I'm about to get into it. Sorry, I'm just on the chat. Good English ales. I like Spitfire. And was it Spotted Hen? I can't remember the name. Mouse sucks on the phone, great on the computer. Yeah, I don't know anyone that would order parts over the phone. That sounds like a nightmare. Thought you called them hotels. So the pubs themselves call them a hotel, but we don't call them a hotel. A hotel generally is one that has accommodation. However, a lot of these pubs used to have accommodation, and now that's just like office space or something, or another bar or a conference room. But yeah, the old It's like Lapston Hotel. They call it that to sound, you know, classy, but we just call it the Lapo pub. And that's a shithole too. full of dickheads. That's where all the cockheads hang out. Every damn chip I look up was no longer made. Yeah, well, then looking up alternatives just found it frustrating. Well, that's probably because the chip you're looking for no longer exists, Max, and that would be frustrating, but that's not exactly Mouse's fault. Try a Murphy's, Brad. It tastes a bit more like a stout. A Murphy's? I haven't seen them. In Vienna, that was a proper beer. I don't think this would be a 5-minute process to show the pic. Yeah, that's just me. Sorry, man. I'm not with it today. I'd beg is delicious. Yes, it is. I don't know if I can pause the chat or if Brad would want that. No, that's all right. It's all good. I'm caught up now. So, Old Speckled Hen. That's it, Wes. I like Old Speckled Hen. And there's one other. I can't remember the name right now, but it's my favourite beer of all time. Heaven in a Glass. Yeah, I like the English ales. When we went over there and they actually had the pump, like not the gas-driven one, but the actual pump ales, I was like, oh man, that was so cool. First thing we did when we landed in London was went to a pub. That's the first thing I do when I go anywhere, go to a pub. I don't know why that's special. Alright, have I got coffee on the way, Michelle? Michelle! So, let's get to it. Now that the soldering iron is probably burnt its tip. I think the next station I get will be the IntelliHeat, where it turns off when you remove it from the holder. When you place it in the holder, sorry. Because when the soldering iron's sitting there, it at temperature it tends to overheat. Alright, let's just get into it, eh? From the top. There, bulgy. Elna. This is not great for video, actually. I should find a better way of doing this. Alright, so that is 100 microfarad 25 volt and its designator is C87, so let's check that. I'll just run you through it to start with, and then I'll just keep doing it and shut my gob. C87. And it's not on the list. Fuck's sake. First one we look at. '86 to '89, right? 100 microfarad 25 volt. Yep, that's correct. One of them. I feel like we should make a necklace out of them or something. So, I've got a couple of art projects coming up, which I think you guys will be interested in. Yeah, that one's leaking schmoo. 220 microfarad 35 volt, and that is covered in glue. C85. 220 35 volt. Yep. Alright, so I think we're going to be good with the manual. Everything's sort of aligning so far. The larger caps are glued to the board. $20 35 volts. Let's see, 80 something. The glue's over it. I knew Hakko does that. Slows work. I may disable that feature. Okay. Now, you got the FX951. Is that correct? If you get an induction tip soldering station, I think it'll be a lot quicker, but they're very expensive. Sounds more annoying than useful to me. It's not so much use, it's that the tips burn. Now, since I moved away from using a sponge, the tips have lasted literally 10 times longer. if it's sitting there for a long time, that the tips can sort of get pretty crusty, and then solder doesn't want to stick to them until you treat them. I do have some treatment shit from Hakko that you can dip the soldering in. It's like, it looks like silver paste or something, which helps. If you don't know what a hotel is, now I feel old. It's been 35 years. Huh? Since what? I know what a hotel is. It's just I don't call it a pub a hotel. Hotel sounds like they're trying to sound official and really, you know, high class. Hotel. Oh, welcome guests, you know. When really it's just like you walk up to a bar and you go, "What do you want?" "I want a beer." "Okay." So, in my opinion, that's a pub. I'd classify anything where accommodation is like 50% or so of their business. I'd call that a hotel. But when it's just sloshing beers out, I'd call it a pub. C86. 86, yep. It's going to be a long process. Good thing it's relaxing. You relaxed? Oh, I'm shaky. I've got to eat something. Blood sugar dropping. Anger rising. C89. Yep. So that's 3 of them. 2 of them now. Oh, Brad, did you get a surge of subs after that interview with the YouTube and prepare celebrity? Yeah, I got a little bit. I think it's more coming from regular content. I'm trying to release something or do a live stream every 2 to 3 days regularly. And I think the algorithm responds to that and starts promoting your stuff more. If you only sporadically release stuff, you tend to get buried. Maybe it's because I'm producing ultimate premium content like this. 100 microfarad. And that's the last one of them. Still puzzles me how low of subs Brad and Jordan Thomas has. Yeah, the YouTube has an algorithm against Aussies. Probably to prevent layout mouse like Dave Jones. Dave Jones is doing really well, so can't really go in for that. Hi! I just love doing his voice, it's so fun. I'm Dave Jones. He was actually higher pitch when he started. He's dropped his pitch a bit. I think he's probably just a bit less excited than he was back then. C54. He just did a review of Rigol's new scope. God damn, man. And you looked at the specs. I'll have to get me one of them. 47 microfarad, 50 volt. Yep. The biggest draw card for me, like its specs are amazing. But it's got an HDMI out. So I'll be able to show you troubleshooting with live video coming from the friggin' oscilloscope. Wouldn't that be cool? If you want me to buy one, you know what to do, legends. Like and subscribe. And man, there's crack solder joints everywhere on this. I'll zoom in a tick and show you, but everywhere I look, there's a crack solder joint. This thing must have had lots of issues. Yeah, all the caps are leaking brown schmoo. That's fun. What was that one? That was C56. C56. 47 microfarad, 16 volt. 47 microfarad, 16. Where is it? There, 35 volt. Oh. C55, where are you? I don't allow mid-roll bullshit, yeah. I don't allow mid-roll ads either. They're a massive boner killer. $47.16. C48. Yep. C46. Oh, did the wrong one. I heard YouTube screwed with it even more now. Less control for content creators. Yeah. C3PO. Most big hotel here have a bar in them and a separate restaurant as add-ons. Huh. Yeah, they're always fucking with us, changing semi-hidden settings. Still better than Facebook. Yeah, Facebook's just a joke now. Lyle, disallowing mid-roll ads is one of the things I love about you. Yeah, Gooden. I hate mid-roll ads. Having said that, if we had mid-roll ads, the channels would probably get promoted more by the algorithm because their job is to make money. The more ads they can put out, the more money they make. So part of the reason we're probably getting held back a bit is because we don't do mid-roll ads. It's ironic, isn't it? The more you shill yourself, it makes the content less enjoyable, but the better your channel does. YouTube Premium, it is a must. Yeah, I've just upgraded to Premium. I held out for ages, but man, I don't watch TV. All I watch is YouTube, so I heard that some people are complaining that paying YouTube Premium still doesn't block all of the ads. I don't know. I haven't seen a single ad since I paid for YouTube Premium, but maybe they're starting a private tab. They're probably looking at dodgy shit, and if you're a private tab, you're not logged into Google, so you got to be logged in, obviously. American hotels have crappy food. Yours had Flintstone steaks and great beer. Yeah, massive fuck off steaks. Although steaks getting pretty expensive now, beef in general. And so it should be, because it's really fucking bad for the environment. It should be expensive. It should be a once in a while thing. Can you enable the mid-roll ad from older videos? Yes, you can go back and change the settings, the monetization settings on any video. But I just don't like them. Shorts help a good bit from what I'm hearing. Problem, Jim, is every time I do a short, the dislikes like sometimes like 10% or so. I think some people that like the longer content think that they're actually giving feedback when they dislike things, and maybe I'll respond to that. And you kind of do, but if you don't like something, just don't watch it, sort of, instead of watching it and then whinging about it. Oh my god, there are a lot of caps in this thing. C42, 33 microfarad, 50 volt. C42, 3.3 microfarad, 50 volt. Did I say 33? It can be a little bit tricky to see which lead you're actually desoldering and that it's the part you're hoping for. Gotcha. 50 volt, 1 microfarad, C7. I think I'm not going to tick them off. I'm just going to check them as I go. If there's anything different, I'll mark it down. 4.7. C7. C7, 4.7, 25 volt. Okay, so that's different. CM7. 4.7, 25 volt. Am I just getting the wrong designator? Yeah, so C7 is in fact, as soon as I say it, there's one. C7, let's start a list down here. C7 was actually 1 microfarad, 50 volt. So it might not be a critical value.
haven't had an ad in 3 years. Good man. I may do mid-roll ads in streams if I can set them to go when I was doing an intermission anyway. Yeah, you can do that, Lyle. But I'm not sure you can do it in OBS. I'm not sure. There's an add button, but I think that's in Creator Suite or something. If you could enable it on older, it would help with the algorithm, but not screw with active subscribers, perhaps. Although once the videos are done, they're pretty well done. You just get sporadic views. That's what sucks. You put all this effort into making the videos and making them like a wealth of information, and then once they're done, no one really looks at them. You get the occasional person that's got a broken amp or whatever, and they're trying to fix it themselves. But besides that, generally they'll watch it, and then straight away they'll be like asking you really, open-ended questions, and more trouble than it's worth to respond. C72. One more. 71, 72. Oh, I can see. Alright, no, sorry, that was wrong. So, C7 was actually C71. I just couldn't see the 1. So, yeah, it is correct. C70, 71, 71, 72. Alright, so far the list has been 100% accurate. I've tried shorts and got no traction. Some of my shorts have done really well, especially the ones I'm wearing right now. They're troopers. But you'll see, you'll get a massive peak and then it just stops. So the shorts get randomly promoted, like shoved in people's face for a little bit, and then they just disappear. The one over me lifting the super light Mark bass amp got about 2,000 in like one day, and then just nothing after that. So, by the way, we are fostering 150 pounds. I went to say Street Bernard, Saint Bernard, getting him ready for adoption. Oh, we have 4 dogs of our own. Zeus makes my 120 pound Anatolian Shepherd, shown in thumbnail here. Look small. I love big dogs. I have a pug, a mutt, and a short hair Burmese mountain. What? We live on 30 acres in Canada. Nice. So the dogs help keep the bears away. Shit. So a bear's afraid of dogs, even though they could rip them to shreds. I'm going to shut up 58 people in. That's all right. Chat away, legends. Chat away. That's what we're here for. Where are you, capacitor? Alright. Are you that one? Are you that one? Oh yeah, you're at 45 degrees. That's why I'm missing you. Generally, everything's aligned with the X and Y axis on the board, but these two caps are at 45 degrees, so I wasn't recognizing their leads as cap leads. Shorts need to be done daily more often. It's full on. Yeah, well, doing shorts daily would be pretty easy, because usually it's just like, oh, look at this piece of shit. What a piece of shit. So, I probably should do more of them, but just with the phone, or out and about. 6556. No, C5556. The silk screen's black on a dark brown board, so it's a bit tricky to read. C5556. C5556. 47 microfarad, 16 volt. Yep. Correct. Doesn't YouTube just grab a piece of video and create a short from it? No, you actually you got to upload a short. Good. It's part of the app on the phone. I'll see if I can show you that without showing you all my pornos. If you go YouTube, you go home. There's Yeatsy. I was watching him last night over a beer. So you see the shorts there. There's a plus button in the middle. You hit that. Create a short, upload video, go live, create a post. So that's your options. When you go create a short, straight away it wants to film it. You hit the record button. You got two options, 15 seconds or 60 seconds. 15 seconds is ridiculously short, especially for technical things. So I'll generally go 60 seconds because even when I think it's going to be a 15-second clip, it usually ends up like a 25-second clip. And then you got to do it again because it cuts off. So that's how you create a short. And you just upload that. Away you go. I wish there was Creator Suite, not Creator Studio. I forget, whatever the one where it shows the live control room. I wish they had that on the phone so you could change settings on the fly. That'd be cool. Be quiet phone. You sit there and behave yourself. You have to make it, and all the dimensions are different. Yeah, so it's vertical. Doing shorts daily is better for the algorithm. Bears hate dogs. We wouldn't have survived large predator ages had it not been for us domesticating wolves. Yeah. I think the creator has to make the short. Yeah, so we just ran through that. Sweet as. Yeah, I won't give up on shorts. It's just it's very hard to distill some of these things down to a short because well, they're complex systems, and mainly I just use shorts for things to laugh at. C41. 41, yep, that's correct. Nope, not that one. No, not that one either. Where am I? Over here. I was way off by like an inch. What's an inch between mates though, eh? C47. 47 microfarad, 16 volt, yep. Shine a laser at the... Yeah, I'll just go get my laser pointer, good. I don't even have one. Not a fan of shorts. I think it promotes ADHD, yeah, probably. G'day Jace, how you going? I liked your stream yesterday. It's good to put a face to Warwick's name. I've seen Warwick in Warwick Newman. Jace from Head First did a Q&A with Davo and Warwick Newman on his channel yesterday. That was fun to watch. It was good to put a face to Warwick's name because I've chatted with him before, I think on forums and whatever, and I had no idea he was into live sound. Was he like rig building for Diesel? Was it? C47. C45. C45. 47 microfarad, 35 volts. Yes. So the first thing that strikes you when you do these jobs is how much the caps have shrunk over the years for the same value and voltage rating. They're like half the size or less. C53. 47 microfarad, 50 volt. Yes, it is. Got another glued on cap down here. You'll hear the little crack as the glue lets go. There it is. It's gone all brittle. Sometimes that glue can conduct too. You got to be aware of that. Can't read the designator because it's under glue. But I know that's the cap because it's a bigger one. Yeah, probably about 50% of these caps are leaking shmoo. So, you know, you could be part of the don't fix what ain't broke crowd and replace one every time the amp comes back, but live sound is his real passion. Ah, okay. Try not to melt my mic. I have a Nebo flashlight and very bright laser pointer that shines through PC boards. Would it shine through a phenolic one though? Probably. Let's see. Where's my torch? A funny thing with my brain, right, and I've only realised this recently, if my torch is sitting up like that on the bench, I can find it. If it's sitting like that, my brain doesn't register that it's there. Oh yeah, you can see through that clearly. See the torch moving about on the other side of the board. You can see the components and the silk screen a little bit. That looks really cool. I should take a photo of that. I bet Dave enjoyed being on with you after not being able to get a word out with Bonamassa. I haven't watched that one yet. He's a bit of a motor mouth, Bonamassa, is he? I've never watched any of his interviews. Never listened to any of his music either, to be honest. I don't know about Bonamassa. I get sort of Andre Rieu vibes off him. Alright, we just lost a pad. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Pad just disappeared. My soldering iron set to what, 320? And I was only there for a fraction of a second. He's painful. No comment. Well, I don't think he's going to be buying any rigs off me anytime soon. I'm not good enough at marketing. 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3. Turn microfarad 25 volt. C18. Yep. Bonamassa is boring as batshit. I can't stand Bonamassa. This is not me saying this. I'm reading comments. Can't stand Bonamassa. Love his music, but please tell us more about your collection of 59 bursts. King of humble brag. See, if you use braid. If I used braid, I would have ripped off like 4 pads by now, Lyle. That pad was mechanically failed before the iron even touched it. Oop, I can hear a chopper outside. So we've been frantically doing hazard reduction burns left, right and centre in Sydney. It's been very smoky the last week or two. C11? No. C16. .47 microfarad. 16 volt, yep. Braid versus vacuum tech battle. Both have their applications. I use braid a lot. I used a shit ton of it yesterday. Braid's really good if you need to get in sideways at shit. And braid's good for actually sort of semi-cleaning stuff as well. Nope, not that one. get you one day. There you are. Choppers up every day here. Different reasons though. Copper choppers. Something the states need to do. Oh, what, the states don't hazard reduce? Australian bears can be deterred by a Yorkie. Yeah. I just had a bunch of Steve Irwin clips come up on YouTube. I don't know what the go is there. I never watched that shit because I'm Australian and it was cringy how he played it up a bit, but in hindsight I think he was just genuine. 10 microfarad 25 volt, yep. And he was just a really excitable dude. But yeah, he had a short came up today where he was stopping two kookaburras from fighting each other. Comes in on a dirt bike. Oi, 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 you two, stop it. Kind of miss him, even though I didn't watch him back then. Kookaburras are great. I love waking up to them, laughing. C27 and C20 something. 27. 10 microfarad 25 volt. Yep. To prevent bushfires. Yeah, so they don't do hazard reduction over there. Huh. You can't make rude noises with a with braid. Say tech talk. Joe does like to talk and smoke a cigar way too far down the end. What? Drop bears will mess you up. Yes, they will. I'm with you. Bonamaster is definitely boring. I'd like to see tab open for Joe B and blow him off the stage. Not so coincidentally, I did research paper in uni in the domestication of dogs keeping us alive during the Pleistocene epoch. Couldn't take Irwin, balls of steel, but damn, he was annoying. Who's Irwin? Okay, I'm lost. Max, do you want chihuahuas? Because that's how you get a chihuahua. G'day, Scotty. I'll give you the pump of approval. Gotcha. C25. C26 and C26, I think they mean 25 and 26, I think that's a typo. 47 microfarad 16 volt, sweet. We haven't seen one wrong one yet, so I might just go hell for leather, eh? What's a few oofs between mates? I'm getting dizzy doing this. Flicking my head back and forth. Wish I had long hair. I used to have long hair. Do you guys know that? I used to have shoulder length hair. Bright red. Not bright red, it was strawberry blonde. Ooh, someone's done some repair there. Not very well either. So, the old hack techs aren't just limited to guitar amps. Someone's used the wrong soldering iron. They've destroyed and vaporized traces. Clipping. Oh shit. Hey. Hey. Oh, you know what happened? I moved the soldering iron and it's got caught on the gain knob. The cord. The cord turned the gain knob as I pulled it because it passed over the gain knob. I will recess that unit. One moment, legends. I made a little piece of plywood suspended with some booker rod to hold my interface and wireless receiver. So I'll just loosen those bolts off, move it back so it's behind the benchtop front edge, and that will not happen again. There's always something, legends. There's always something. Guitarist is always turning up. You got me, Jace. Better, yeah. I know it's better. In Cali, they stopped hazard reduction, causing very large wildfires, claiming they yeah. Around here, we do hazard reduction, but it's usually in the places where, you know, human interaction's a big thing, like either sides of a highway where people are throwing cigarette butts and shit. Or around places where dirt bikes are going and stuff because they spit out, you know, embers from pieces of carbon from their exhaust. But there's nothing stopping lightning strikes setting fire to the middle of nowhere where they can't even access. So it's always going to be a thing. It's getting worse and worse as everything heats up. And weird weather patterns where you get like decade-long droughts and shit. So I think we're going to be, dare I say, maybe not too bad this year, because there's still a bit of moisture in the ground from 3 years of La Nina, although that won't last long. It's going to go bye-bye soon. Where is this cap? Just above the switch. This is not intuitive. You got that, and then you've got that. Let's pull the light out, eh? There's the switch. There's the cap. Thanks, Gooden. You know things, mate. Pleistocene. Ah, thanks, mate. Lyle, master of linguistics. I watch more documentaries than guitar videos. Yeah. Nigel's new amps go to infinity. Is that the new, are they making a new bloody Spinal Tap? Ooh, I might have to use braid here. Yep. No, Lyle wins. I've got to use braid because it's under the lip. Yeah, if it wasn't for the need to verify misinformation so much, I'll get way more sleep. That's what it's like, eh? It's like a constant battle. Wait, let me find a citation. wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Braid to the rescue. Gotcha. Little bugger. Oh, yeah. You can smell the electrolyte coming from that one. Been known to be cunning in that regard. He's got some cunning stunts up his sleeve. Oh, I don't think Michelle got my memo. I'm gonna have to eat something soon, champions. My hands are getting shaky. Had pizza last night. Forgot to bring the leftovers down. Damn it. I'm addicted to an endless pursuit of knowledge. Yeah, so am I. But I just don't have time, man. You've got to pay bills. It sucks. If I won the lottery, I'd just disappear and build a library and just sit in it reading all day. Just not do anything but read and practice instruments and learn languages. And I don't get rich people that just sit there and be dumb and do fuck all. Like, if I was rich, the thirst for knowledge would take over. I'd learn every fucking language. I'd take every class. Yeah, I don't know. The owner will be, you charged this? It was just a few caps. Well, that is why I started making videos. If they whinge about the price, I'm going to make them sit through the whole video and they're not allowed to leave till the end. The foils are especially fragile and most components on the border are not marked with schematic numbers. Lots of conductive and corruptive glue. Yeah. Note that aside from doing this on stream, this would still be an hour plus to pull and identify those components. Yeah, that's why I'm just making it a bit of a fun stream, eh? Jace, I'm working on a Kenwood SX100 Hi-Fi integrated amplifier. And it's not advisable to try and make money on these. This customer brought a turntable as well. Needed a new cartridge. We put an order font on it. Oh no, that was the one where the cartridge was okay, the stylus was broken. So I'm an auto font dealer. So I bought him one of them. And he brought this along with it. So he's got a turntable here as well, which is going to get completed later today. The only reason I say yes to this stuff is because this generation is actually pretty easy to work on. If it was a pain in the ass, I wouldn't say yes. But when you start out, you don't know what's a pain in the ass. I wish there was like a database of yes and no's to don't take that, yes, take that, don't take that. I could have really used that back in the day. Alright. Where are you, Cap? You that one? Two links, Cap below it. You're not that either. Where are you? Oh, you're way above. Right. Nope. Nope. Need the torch again. How am I missing this? It's just above there. Why can't I find you, capacitor? Got that. No. Oh yeah, there it is. I make stuff, play guitar, and jerk off. Okay, good for you, Scotty. Just one sec, legends. Hey Bragg, can I send people to you to get their Commodore 64s fixed? You joke, Scotty, but they're worth a lot of money now. It's actually a guy on YouTube called Bill Hurd. If you don't know who he is, you should track him down and watch his videos. He and Jerry Ellsworth used to do a series. Someone else too, I forget the name, but he was the designer of the Commodore 128, not the 64, but he came in the 128 time. God, I need a nap. And he's a very entertaining, funny guy. Again, another genius that I found via the amp hour. Alright, that's right under the lip. Not going to be able to get to that. Oh, that's tricky. And it's hidden behind the switches. Alright, so that's pretty much all the caps off the front section. There's two more hiding down between the switches, but it might have to flip the amp over to get to them. So, you Aussies, what comes to mind when I say Frank Walker? Can you tell me? This will be an Aussie test to tell if you're actually an Aussie. What comes just before Frank Walker? Everyone knows Bill Hurd, legend. I don't know if everyone knows him, Max, but yeah, he's a legend. Yeah, I keep trying to get people to watch the amp, listen to the amp hour. I don't know if anyone reacts, but the amp hour is fantastic. If you don't follow it, you should. Even though it's not specifically amp stuff, it's electronics in general. Hello! That's right. That's right, Jace. There's a very successful advertising campaign in Australia from National Tiles. Hello! Frank Walker here, National Tiles. Hello! He amps it up too, the fucker. Hello! And it's a very successful advertising campaign, unfortunately for us. God. Mein Gott. Come out, you fuck. Gotcha. I didn't. Man, working under that lip sucks. Yeah, painful but memorable. That's good advertising. Painful and memorable. Just like PTSD. I didn't know there could be an R in hello. But I guess Frank Walker did it. Hello! Such an annoying fuck. Alright. We've got the little daughter board here, which I can swing out down here and work on in isolation. Got to be better than geckos and emus. What's wrong with geckos and emus? Okay, that's the suppression cap that snapped off somewhere. Oh yeah, I can see the solder on the screw. And a bunch of electrodes. Let's check that these are on the schematic, being on the list. Or might be on a separate list. Pardon me. C26. Nope, that's a different value. So this has got a preamp. C26. 220. Nope, different again. So where's the list for this? Let's have a look at the service manual. We mustn't have printed this one. Not as bad as Chris and Marie. Who are they? Aggravatingly terrible American insurance company ads. There's an insurance company ad out here, and it's got an actor in it, and he's a known actor. But he's ruined his career by acting this stupid. The whole thing is that they're like a bloke and a Shirler, a man and a woman, and they're a investigative team of some sort. They're trying to sort of go like CSI, Mulder and Scully type vibes, and just by acting that role for the last 10 years, he's single-handedly ruined his career. They've really got to find a new... It's like those stupid meerkats. The insurance company comparison page or whatever the fuck it is. And Sergey. It's got like... I thought they might change their advertising campaign after they're sort of posing as... Well, they're implying that they're Russian or something. I thought, oh, that's the end of that advertising campaign, but nope, they're still going with the stupid little meerkats. Like, honestly, it's flogging a dead horse. How long can you run that friggin' advertising campaign for, eh? Alright, so what board have we got? X08, X08 1600-10, yes. X08 1600-10. Alright, so that capacitor that's 22... Oh, it's 220. No, I thought it was 2200. Okay, so I am wrong. That's the one time I'm allowed to be wrong this year. Okay, so note that down. So yeah, that is the correct list. They're just Polish meerkats now, yeah. Let's just change where they're from. They've got the generic foreigner accent that they use in low budget TV shows. I'm not well travelled. Do commercials in Australia primarily have Australian accents or North American? Australian accents. However, there's, for some reason, particularly on radio stations, you can tell that for a promo or something they have an American accent, but you can tell that it's a bad Australian voiceover artist doing a bad American accent. Like, join now. Don't miss out. For 1 week only. They really amp it up, and you're like, that's not an American. That's an Australian doing an American accent. And you're like, why do we have to have an American accent on that ad? Like, is it only valid because of a... I don't know. It's trying to figure out the psyche behind it is really weird. It's like things are legitimized by being American. I don't know. It's weird. So that turns me off any company that does that. But what do they care? Yeah, that one's leaking schmoop. See you, Lyle. Take it easy. Enjoy your points. I've got to go see Michelle play netball today. She's made it to the grand final. I can't miss the grand final. Should I do a live stream? The netball game? What do you reckon? That'd be funny, actually. Michelle, are you watching? Should I do a live stream of your video of your netball game? That'll lose me some subscribe. Oh God, I need food so I can speak. That will lose me some subscribers. If only Aussies could understand the Aussie accent. Yeah, it's weird, huh? And that was the last small capacitor. So let's put the big tip on and desolder these monsters. What ball game? Netball. The second most popular sport in the country. Followed by cricket, I think. I think it goes football, netball, cricket. I don't think we need the massive chip, but hell, let's put it on anyway because it's fun. Put on the big bastard. Netball, yes, netball. Netball. Ball going net. Netball. Very complex, I know. Look, you can put the tip in with your bare fingers when you first put it in, and then it gets hot. Are you NRL or AFL? I am neither. I don't follow any sport at all. I could not give a flying fuck about that endless saga. I'm just more about seeing what Ben Cousins is up to this week more than anything else. He's funny. Sorry, I'm Canadian, never heard of it before. Well, look it up, man. I thought you guys had it in the States and Canada. But, you know, we don't have curling, so... So netball is primarily a women's sport. And a lot of girls play it in school and maybe don't carry on with it later. But Michelle's president of a netball club. Her mum used to be president before. And she lives and breathes netball. It's probably the reason I became a tech, to be honest. I'm sitting at home bored when she's at netball meetings and games at night after work. So I thought, well, I may as well fix things. Just looked it up. Nope, not in Canada, but thankful you don't have curling. It's boring as hell, yeah. Oh, it's fun. It's funny. I have seen it, but only because I went looking. Right. Marching powder, most likely. The Canadian, the Colombian Bam Bam. This has got little kinks in the leads for a snap-in sort of setup. They're funny though, they're round leads. Normally the snap-ins are like molded, pressed metal. Whereas these look like they were just really heavy leads. I can second that claim, Max. About the curling. So, we've got about 15 minutes Legends and I'll cut off. I've got to open the shop and pretend to be professional. I was going to walk up and get coffee because it looks like Michelle's forgotten me. Exactly. Yeah, it is rare, but it's funny, so everyone mentions it. So these caps are held in with screws and retainers and shit. Oh, right under the shaft. You couldn't have planned that better, Kenwood. Oh, you fucker. Okay, that's still feeling a little bit firm. I might put some new solder on there. And then wick off the excess. So I'll put some new solder on there to get some fresh flux on it. I love curling during the Olympics because everyone else is super fit and the curling people often look like they just rolled in for a match from McDonald's or the bar. That's what darts is like, the competitive darts. They're like, take their shot and have a sip of their whiskey. Smoking cigarette the whole time. Like that, what was that, golfer? Daly, is it? He used to like smoke a cigarette and drink a whiskey while he's while he's playing golf. John Daly, wasn't it? Tree of Life, $20, mate. Thank you, legend. Is there any no comment there at all? Thanks for your time. Any advice that you want to get your money's worth? Any just life advice in general? Gardening? Mechanics? John Daly, yeah. He was very unapologetic about it too. It was good. We should all try to be a little bit more like John Daly. You do you, man. Speaking of Peruvian marching powder, my wife and I were so desperate for something to watch last night. We watched Cocaine Bear. I haven't watched that yet, but I don't know about the gory sort of. I don't know how to take them. Is it comedy or is it not? Cocaine Bear. Someone approved Approve that movie. Oh, you know why they're moving? Not moving? I just realised something. It's got an anchor pin. Because these caps are huge. They put an extra pin on there to anchor it in place. And that's this third pin here. I just remembered I haven't had the BOFA running the whole time. Oh well, too late now. Now I've got 2 more pins to desolder. Be more like this. It is good advice, isn't it, Max Power? No, Max Power? No, Jace. Sorry. Yeah, good advice. Be more like John Daly. Join me next week when I can run you through the advantages of drug use. I don't know. I almost died today. What? And now I'm sitting here playing guitar, nursing a fizzy drink, watching this bearded legend. You almost died today? You're going to need to elaborate on that, Mark. I hope you're not serious. Was it a near miss, like accident, or what? Don't be saying it was health issue after I just said try to be more like John Daly. You can't blame that on me, mate. He ate beer and ciggies every day. Yeah, he's still going. Some people just have that genetics, so the body just, righto, that's all I've got, cigarettes and beef. I'll deal with it. And other people, it presents issues. Alex, how you going, champ? Cocaine Meg. You got the whole chat hanging on your answer there, Mark. Oop. We've got a bit of glue as well. Yeah. Nice amount of shmoo under that. Not sure might just be dust. Hard stuff. Jesus. Bloody hell, Mark. Take care of yourself, mate. You got treatment? You good? You good? What's your cooking good looking? Who are you talking to? I am working on a Kenwood KA-6100. Doing a recap. Giving her a good old wash. Gonna hose her out. Take it out on the lawn. And fix a lot of broken solder joints. And get a purring. Because the owner is quite smitten with it. He's had it forever and he wants to have it forever. So I said, I can do that. And I can. And I will. And I halfway have. But I'm going to piss off when we'll give it 10 more minutes. Legends. I don't know if you want to actually do something, because I'm going to give this a clean next, and that's going to be messy and gross. So I might get something to eat before I get shit all over my hands. We open at 9:30. It's 13 past 9 at the moment. It's not quite enough time to go get breakfast, but I've got some muesli here with some nice sugar-free yogurt, some blueberries, and some banana. So I'll have that. Yeah, the caps were a bit leaky. Everything's a bit leaky in this thing. It's the age where it needs a good set of Depends. I'm in PT for heart stuff until November. Shit. Hang on. What's PT? Physical therapy? Oh, heck, the point was how rad this channel is, and that you need to say knifey spoony. Knifey. Yeah, you're good. That's good, Mark. Thanks for letting us know. I'd hate the last thing for someone to see me to be one of my live streams. I mean, thanks for being here, but I think there's more pressing matters to life in general than watching me swear at inanimate objects. So today's plan: get this done and get the Princeton back together. That's probably all I'll get done today, because the Princeton, there's probably a good 4 hours in that, at least. And then I'm going to move on to the Super 6. Probably won't have a chance to do that till Monday. I don't think I'll work Sunday. I probably should, but... So I've got a lot of trips and fun stuff coming up towards the end of the year. So I'd like to leave this year on a bit of an even, a clear slate. So I'm not feeling really guilty about going away, because I've got a camping trip coming up in end of September. That's like 5 days away with the lads. I'll see if we do some video. It might be a little bit not really YouTube friendly, but there is one up there from last year, but it's unlisted and it's on my other channel. I do have a just a fuck around channel as well, not amp related. Actually, do you guys want to know that? I think a few of you might already know it. Am I in focus? I'm not, eh? Just looked at my preview there. I've got another channel where I just put bushwalks and stuff and just silly shit. I don't know. I think you guys know what a bogan is. The whole idea was I was gonna walk places that aren't necessarily photogenic, and I was gonna call it bogan walks, like walking through shitholes. Then I thought I'll probably get rolled for my camera, so maybe that's not a good idea. Copy, paste. That's where I put up videos, mainly me fucking around with cameras, stuff like that. Some storm photography videos. I think I'll put up Vivid stuff. Yeah, Vivid 2022. That was before I got back into cameras. That was 2022. Yeah, that was literally just before I bought this camera and got back into photography. So the video quality was dog shit. And then there's a couple of videos of me figuring my camera out. And I think the last one was probably the only real good video quality one worth watching, which was Sunshine Cove Rock Walk. That was a hectic day. I ended up walking like right at low tide, and the tide was coming back in, and I ended up sort of trapping myself on the south coast by myself. I think I had my phone, but I had to like climb a cliff with no gear to get out, and I had my gimbal and everything, so I had to put that back in my bag. So I ended up this hectic area, and I thought, well, fuck, I've either got to go all the way back, and the tide's rising, so it's probably come up a bit since. And then there was just these plate rocks jutting out of the thing, and I couldn't pass it, so I had to climb up the cliff, and now I ended up in basically someone's backyard. And it was a gated community, like a retirement complex, and here's me covered in mud and shit, and big backpack on, middle of I think that was summer, and yeah, I had to climb a fence to get out of the gated complex. So it looked so sketchy, but yeah, it was a good day. I came back to mum and dad's place all covered in mud and shit. Oh, what the fuck happened to you? But yeah, very nice footage on that one, showing the rugged coast of South Coast New South Wales. That's where I go every Christmas. We're going to go down there for another 2 weeks well, this year and around New Year's Eve, Christmas. So that'll be fun. Yeah, we've got that, and then in the new year we're going to Japan. So the plan is to land in Tokyo the day before my 40th birthday and wake up in Tokyo on my 40th birthday. That should be good. And get some good videos of the joint for you. We'll see about data plans. I'll have a talk to Six about that because he's a nerd with that kind of thing. About doing some live streams from there if possible. If the data's not ridiculous. International roaming and whatnot. I'm hoping to catch up with Six over there if you can make it. That would be fantastic. Go and show you all the music shops and the electronics places around Akihabara and the Electric Town. So that will be fantastic. That'll be in April next year. So point being, because there's some outings coming up, I need to make sure the repair queue is under control, because I can't have 50 billion jobs in the queue while I'm trying to live life. It's all downhill from 40. Bullshit, Scotty. Pull your head out of your ass. So yeah, just trying to keep the repair queue under control so I can actually live life a little bit more. We're coming up to this, well, we're just finishing the 3rd year in the shop since moving. So things are slowly sort of stabilizing a little bit. Like, it's not right on a knife edge. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? But yeah, you got to be pretty efficient to exist in this industry. So yeah. Oh, Emilio, finally, are you saying you finally caught a live stream? Good, and full rebuild here 5 years ago on transplant list. Jesus. Sometimes it decides that it doesn't feel like making the blood flow. Fuck. Oddly enough, playing live music helps. Huh. I'm 40 next March. Are you, Alex? There you go, mate. See you, Cold Acre. See you next time, champ. Well, on that note, I'm going to piss off too, legends. I'm going to give this thing a good old scrub, because I'm an old scrubber from way back. You can see how filthy it is. Filthy. So all of that's going to get cleaned up. We'll clean up those fuse holder contacts. Yeah, they look okay. They should clean up okay. Test the emitter resistors for drift. Test the other resistors for drift. There's a few carbon comps on there, probably for their pulse withstanding abilities. It looks like some in the headphone amp. And then we're going to recap it. I've got all the caps in stock. Ordered them last week and they turned up. As far as I can tell, nothing was on back order, so we should have everything we need. And get this thing back together and start doing some testing. I won't do any videos on this one because it's a little bit of meandering content, but probably should. I don't know. I'm sort of the mind now that I probably only want to do videos of stuff that I want more of. And I don't necessarily want more of these, so I probably won't promote being really good at repairing them, because then I'll just get more of them. So anyway, I'll leave you with it, legends. Thanks for joining us, and give us a thumbs up as always. And I don't know, some Saturday, tomorrow is the big live day when every bloody channel goes live. So I'll probably see you on some of the nerd channels then, like Big Clive. I'm usually over there in the morning. It depends who's streaming. You'll see me in the chat from time to time. Sometimes I just lurk in the background. Other times I'm a loudmouth. Oh, yes, Adrian. I did comment on your chat before the stream started, but it disappears. So I did respond to that with a big paragraph of information, but it disappeared. So yeah, regarding the JCM 850 watt near Mullumbimby, the closest I've got for you off the top of my head is Warren Brown at Brown Out Electronics at Port Macquarie. That's about all I can do for you, mate. However, you can ship it to me if you want. Just take the valves out, pack it tightly. What I'd do is open the cabinet up, like take the back cover off it, remove the valves, wrap them up very tightly in a large pack of bubble wrap, and then tape that back into the amp, put the back cover on, double box it, so box on the amp or just covered in cardboard, then coat that with a lot of bubble wrap, and then put that inside another box, and it should get here okay. So if you want to ship that to me, I'd be more than willing to ship it back to you once done. Just bear in mind, for a JCM 800, if it's original and if it hasn't been modded, you're probably looking, it's going to be more than like $500 if it needs a recap and stuff, and if the valves are fucked. So you could be somewhere between 500 to $1,000. It's hard to tell without seeing it. But yeah, just bear that in mind. And the shipping is probably going to be about $50 each way. So if you can factor all that in and it's not out of your budget, then feel free to shoot me an email. It's Bradford now because Lyle is random. Yeah, so I think he clarified with me on a break that he was watching something else and they had someone Bradford on there, and he just off the top of his head he said it. He didn't. Yeah, that was funny. Got another relic mark this morning. That's all right, mate. That's what they're for, Wes. That's what they're for, mate. Wes, I want to see you release some footage of the process of your VFX stuff, if you're allowed to, with your company. I want to see some visual effects content from you, Wes. It will do very well. People are very curious about it. It's all original. Oh, that's good. It's probably getting to the recap time. Oh, head first. Jason's trying to poach it. What model? Yeah, you talked about this yesterday, Jace. So if that's a 50-watt JCM 800, I'd assume it's a 2204. However, it could be, what's the other one? I forget. But yeah, JCM's the series number, not the model number. So you can have a JCM 800 2505, 2203, 2204. Bradford is my distinguished version, yeah. I need to make a show reel. Yes, you do, Wes. Do it. Oh, morning, Steve. How you going, champ? Everyone, stop talking about Steve. All right, he's here. Otherwise, watch any DreamWorks animation movie from the last 16 years. You're all over them. Okay. 16 years, Wes. That was back when you were using clay models and shit, wasn't it? I think I went to school with a girl whose dad was with Pixar. Could be a 1987. Anyway, I'll leave you to it because I'm supposed to be open as of 1 minute ago. So take it easy, legends. I'll talk to you. Oh, you'll see some videos coming out through the week. I've got the Rivera one, which is already finished, coming out on Tuesday, and then the follow-up on that coming out on Thursday. That might get moved back to Thursday, Friday, maybe, if I want to fit in the Princeton before that. It depends if I've got enough time to edit it, but otherwise you might get a new amp video, but that will get wrapped up in the following episode a day or two later. So I'll catch you on that one. Failing that, see us next weekend if schedule works out.